Happy October, everybody. And today, on day 16 of the Kings, the Queens of Halloween, I am crowning a king who is not just an amazing actor and one of the greatest things and perhaps one of the most quixotic 80s horror movies ever, but he's also one of the most beautiful human beings I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. I am crowning Peter Iasillo Jr. Peter Iasillo Jr. first came to my shores back in the VHS days, renting and later on buying a used VHS copy of the movie Spookies. Now, for any of you cult horror fans out there, Spookies, as soon as you hear that name, you're going to see that great cover art and you're going to just immediately flash back to this very strange movie that basically the Spookies version is a hybrid movie because it's like part of an unfinished movie with added stuff to it, which, you know, with any other movie that would probably kind of kill it and kind of make it a terrible viewing experience. With Spookies, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean, you can definitely tell something's amiss, but it actually just kind of, in a weird way, adds to the whole just sort of surreal atmosphere and ambience of it all. But in the midst of all that is Peter Iasillo Jr. Peter's character, the first thing I absolutely love, and to this day, it is my favorite thing about Spookies, even on top of some of the super cool practical effects and the cool score, it's Petey. It's Petey. His character, who is a puppeteer, is one of the greatest characters ever. And first of all, he's wearing a t-shirt of himself with his puppet. That is such a flex. That is such a power move. Only a true king would do such a move, right? And he is hilarious. He's got that puppet.
I'm looking for another party.
Me too.
And he's a great sort of counterbalance to the total like pseudo, I stress that, pseudo alpha male buddy who's driving the car is a total goomba.
What do you say we kiss and make up? Hi, Duke, what do you say?
What are you, queer or something?
Total mook. And his poor girlfriend. Like, I really just wanted an alternate cut where she just dumps him and like her and Petey walk off into the sunset. That is what should have happened. Peter's character ends up getting eaten by a spider lady. It makes me sad though, because I mean, even now I'm just like, oh man, because I know we're not getting any more of that character in the movie, and that's a bummer. That is my least favorite thing about Spookies. We needed more Peter in it. On top of Spookies though, Peter appeared in some other cult horror movie gems and some deep cuts. He was in Igor and the Lunatics. He's in Street Trash. What's super cool is he also appeared in a lot of like sort of interstitial bits for a few years on the USA late night show Up All Night.
Programs are top of the line, good and professional.
Which for any of us little weirdo monster kids that grew up in the 80s and 90s, Up All Night I think immediately has a huge place in all of our hearts. But Peter, just one of the coolest guys. I actually friend requested him years ago on Facebook as a lark because I was like, holy I just found the guy from Spookies. That's the man. And whenever you request anybody on social media that you don't actually directly know, it's a roll of the dice. You can never blame somebody for not accepting it if they don't know who you are. You know, that's more than fair. But he accepted it, and later on, my husband became friends with him, and just Peter became a friend. Not a social media friend, but he was a real friend. Like, he'd check on us. We actually, to this day, have a Christmas card / ornament that he made and he sent to us. He was absolutely precious. I actually have the soundtrack to the horror anthology From Whisper to a Scream on vinyl because of Petey, because he sent it to me. I, of course, like a goofball, because he was like, oh, I sent this because it's got one of the best actors ever. And I was like, oh, Clu Gallagher, because I'm a major Clu Gallagher fan. And he's like, Vincent Price, Heather, and I felt like such a dumbass. I love Vincent Price. But anyways, Peter, like, in his later years was battling a lot of health stuff, especially cancer. And even towards the end, he had the sunniest attitude. He is I don't like saying was, because to me it's just like, well, he's just moved on to something else, you know? But one of the most glowing human beings I've ever known. Just absolute love and light. I did a tribute article to him that I'll link to in the description called Mr. Blue Sky, because if anybody was the human personification of that ELO song, it is Peter Iasillo Jr. So with all my love and heart and respect, today's king is Peter Iasillo Jr. We love you, Petey.